Trash Talk Monday, episode 13 starts now.
I'm the best ever. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
Yo, bounce guy, go off.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
Wilder's in a world of trouble, closing seconds. Can he weather the storm here in the third round?
And the ball to superlative.
Big right hook, lands flush for Cambosos, and that knocks down Teofimo Lopez. We have ourselves a fight.
Khabib Nurmagomedov gets a triangle choke from up top. Gaethje's out, and the fight is over. The triangle choke for Khabib Nurmagomedov.
And Porter gets knocked down. He gets knocked down again. 10th round TKO win. Left uppercut, and then next out Leo. It appears he's out cold. The fight is over. It was a counter left uppercut, and just like that, what a left uppercut. I did not see that coming, ladies and gentlemen. I will have to admit, what a fight.
Nice celebration for a 3K video. I don't know, man. To hit 3,000 subscribers and like
Right hook to the body for Campbell. Left hook to the body for Garcia. And that knocked down Campbell. It was a left hook to the body. Campbell on the ground. The count is on. Can he make his way up? It appears he can't get up. Campbell on the ground. Trying to stand up. And the fight is over. Ryan Garcia with a 7th round knockdown. What a performance. Guys, if you haven't, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. We're trying to do record numbers today. Ryan Garcia tearing up and crying. What a performance for Ryan Garcia. Let's go, guys. You're now tuned into episode 13 of Trash Talk Mondays. We got a nice little consistent podcast live show going on right now, guys. A lot to talk about here. Kyle, welcome to the stream, my guy. A lot to talk about here. Welcome, Hito, Snipey, TREY did 9/11, Cole, Jay. Welcome to the stream, guys. Listen, real quick, we're going to cover UFC 277. There's a lot to talk about. We got a lot of picks right. For UFC 277. The one that we got wrong, the big one that we got wrong was the Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. How foolish was I to pick Juliana Pena instead of Amanda Nunes? I know. We'll talk about that. I'm sure Trey's going to have a lot to say. Derrick Lewis, I've been talking about him for over a year and a half. I kind of called out what his career is gonna look like. Lavithan 999, you missed calling in. This Saturday we have like a landline and everything that you could call, but next time, hey, that Daniel Short popped off. Bro, crazy, Hito. Thank you for the $20. Starting the stream off right. Thank you so much, man. Listen. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. And we're gonna get right into the podcast for replay value. Whoever's watching is back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the 20. I swear, bro. I just want to throw this out there. This is a conspiracy. Let me know. Whenever someone donates in the live streams or whatever, like in the live commentary, I swear the viewers goes up. I don't know if YouTube sees like, oh, they send money, let's send them more viewers or like get them more analytics. I don't know. I don't know, Hito, but thank you for the 20 because you're helping my channel out immensely, not only by donating, but by getting more eyes on here. So thank you, Hito. Snipey, Lavithan, all you guys. Lavithan says, especially the Black Beast. We'll talk about it. 0-3. Thank you so much, man. Miller's a saga. TREY splits alive. Miller splits lava. Listen, guys, let me get right into it. I'm going to start off the stream a little bit different than usual. Usually we have jokes and things of that nature. I hope, the powers that be doesn't get too mad at me playing the video, but let me see if I could, or maybe I'll just play the audio, but let me see if this works. I didn't realize that I had my audio messed up that whole time. I had it on mute, but let's get right to it. I want to show you guys something that happened this weekend. Let's talk about it a little bit, and then we'll get right into the TREY rant. Here we go.
The pressure boxing.
Love the words by Danny Garcia, man. Like I was looking at his record, the things that he's gone throughout his career. You got to give him credit. He has fought some of the best, if not the best in the sport, as far as in the welterweight division. Errol Spence Jr., Sean Porter, Keith Thurman in his prime. That's a different type of Keith Thurman. Paulie Malignaggi, remember when he knocked out Amir Khan? He fought Zab Judah back in 2013. So even though he was up there in age, like I just wanted to bring up Danny Garcia. He's been out for about a year and a half, and for him to come back to be that vulnerable live. Usually I joke around too much and I don't give people credit. Let's be honest. Like I joke around way too much. I want to give credit where it's due, and I think Danny deserves credit. Having a big career, having a career where with a lot of ups and downs, where a lot of people probably felt at 147, what kind of career will he have left if he lost to Errol Spence Jr., if he lost to to Keith Thurman, even though it was a split decision. A lot of people felt that Danny Garcia won. For him to be vulnerable, and I don't mean to bring up Ryan Garcia, so I'm gonna just leave that out of there, but both of them battled mental health. But the one difference about Garcia that I saw was that in the midst of it, he chose to fight. And I just give him credit for that. He's from Philadelphia and his background is Puerto Rican. Gotta give him credit for that. He didn't retire. He went up to 154. He just fought this past weekend. He beat David Benavidez' brother, Jose Benavidez. So he beat Jose Benavidez Jr. He wants to stay at 154, maybe get that Keith Thurman rematch, which will be interesting. So we'll see what he does at 154. I think he wanted Lara or Lubin next. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see something like that happen this weekend live on Showtime. Speaking of Showtime, they're talking about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Steven Espinoza, the executive at, the face of Showtime Boxing, said that, look, he doesn't want to give too much information away, but they're trying to make the fight happen, and he believes he can make it happen, which would be quite interesting. So we'll get right into that. Let's call TREY and give him his 5 minutes. We got Derrick Lewis to talk about his loss. We got Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes. We got the Brandon Moreno fight, right? We'll talk about that as well. There's a lot to talk about, and we'll get right to it. I'm calling TREY right now as we speak, and let's have a good show, guys. If you have any questions or anything of that nature, let us know in the chat and we'll talk about it. Class is canceled here, so here to enjoy The Voice 100. Let's go, Cole. The Voice. That's what I'm gonna start calling myself. And since this guy calls himself the Source, I'm gonna go with The Voice. Earl got that all day. Listen, I think Spence wins that fight. Keith Thurman rejected Conor Ben, so I'd like to see. I think that's a good rematch. That'll sell really well. I believe that'll sell really well as far as pay-per-view. So let's see how that works out. And that'll be a rematch on a controversial decision. I think that's a fight to make. If TREY doesn't pick up anytime soon, I would love to talk some Derrick Lewis beforehand. So, but I like to give TREY his 5 minutes before we get anything started, before we have a back and forth. I'm going to hang up and try to call him one more time and see if he's ready. He said as soon as he answered, it crashed. So we'll talk. Broner is fighting Figueroa August 20th too. I know. What do you think about Adrian Broner coming back, Kyle? Do you have high hopes for him or no? We snort, man. Spence versus Crawford has 0 obstacles now. T-Bud needs to just not duck. You think he's being overzealous in... TREY, if you hear me, you can try to call me and see if that works. Do you think he's being too greedy on the percentage that he wants as far as the purse wise? Do you think that's a problem? Like, do you think Terrence Crawford is a problem? Because to be honest, like, it's the outside looking in, but Errol Spence himself said, like, I want this fight. He wants this fight. We should be able to make this fight happen. Whether they can make it happen is like, that's the fight we've been waiting for years and years. I hope it's not another Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford situation where we keep waiting, and by the time they fight is well past their prime. Dino Shane, welcome to the stream, my guy. He says, what's good, bro? I'm looking forward to Broner's return. So am I. Broner, even though he took a tough loss to Maidana and he kind of, backslid as far as his career. Broner has the skill to compete with the best of them. In his, a few years back, he hasn't been in the ring for a while. The last time that Adrian Broner fought was 2021, February 20th. So not that long ago, not as long as I imagined. And then he lost to Pacquiao in 2019. So he had a long break in between those fights. So to see Broner come back, Broner, age-wise, is he due for a good return and age is not a factor? Let me see. I'm not even going to look. Adrian Broner, age, let's guess before we look. I'm assuming he's like, 32? Let's see. He's 33. He's 33 years old. I was going to say like 29 or something along those lines. But he's 33. That's not that over the hill. He didn't take that much punishment he didn't take that much punishment throughout his career, surprisingly, with all the trash talking he has done. He has done a good job of not necessarily taking a lot of punishment. So we'll see what happens with him. Snipey's in the building. Dino and Kyle, sup guys? My guy Kyle. I can't really take Broner seriously since the Pac fight, but he is 4-weight champ, so I think he will be able to beat Figueroa. Absolutely. I just wonder what kind of opposition and fighters he faces if he's able to get past Figueroa, and it'll be a good measure to see how he looks in there. I want to see his speed, his power, his timing, how all those things look when he does make it to the ring. And that's August 20th. Another thing we could talk about before Trey gets here, this whole Jake Paul situation. Jake Paul and Hasim Rahman Jr. What's going on? I know a lot of people are putting the blame on Rahman. I have a bit to say about that. We'll talk about that soon. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts, so let me know in the chat. You showing the Triple G versus Canelo 3 fight, Miller? Well, that fight, I know is going to be around soon. So we'll probably be covering that live as well. That's Saturday, September 17th. So we'll be able to cover that, I believe, live. And that's on DAZN, which is nice. But that's DAZN pay-per-view. So I wonder if they give you a discount if you already have DAZN. Hasim is in the wrong. Interesting, Hito. Please talk to me about it. I would love to hear. I have a landline if Trey's not able to get in, so we could probably. Oh, Trey's calling me right there. Give me 1 second. I didn't realize it. My bad.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, Trey. Let me know if you get your camera on. Oh, there he is. We'll talk about Jake Paul and Rahman a little bit. Oh, it looks good. Looks good.
Well, sorry.
Guys, I'm gonna give Trey his 5 minutes. We're right back into the show. I know we had a couple distractions and things in between. It's Jake's fault. The pay-per-view was $60 and the tickets weren't selling, so they called it off. Would have been a bad look for Jake marketing wise. You think it was that or the weight situation? To call it off a week prior is hard for me. It's hard to sell me the whole weight situation. When they're like a week away. So that's what's a little bit sketchy to me. But anyways, without delaying any longer, we're going to give the floor to Trey and then take it from there. Trey, give me 1 second. I'm just putting something on the screen right now. Your 5 minutes. And then we will be golden. Here we go. And Trey is live. You have the floor. The 5 minutes is on Trey.
Hey, everybody, easy, relax, okay? Nobody needs to panic. I'm here. I know y'all thought y'all wasn't going to have me for a second, but hey, the boy's back another week. Let me start it off like this. Being a true friend. Since Miller's not a real friend, I'm actually going to give a shout out.
Your mic sounds really good, by the way.
Of course it does. It's because it's my mic and I know what I'm doing. Okay? So don't interrupt me again while I'm talking. I'm giving a shout out like a real friend, like somebody who actually rocks with somebody. I don't even know if he's in the chat. I don't know if he's been talking or watching or what, but let me give a shout out to my boy Zelme. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Zelme. Miller's not a real friend. He didn't even know it was his birthday.
I actually shouted him out on Twitter. So anyways.
All right. Anyways. Yeah, after you
already
saw me do it. But anyways, that's okay. Listen. I'm not going to let y'all sit there and talk disrespectful on me in the chat, talking down on my name, acting like I don't know what I'm picking, acting like I don't know what I'm doing, acting like I'm not the best capper in the UFC. I'm the source. I'm the one who gets it done. I'm the one who keeps it above the rest. Okay, listen to me right now. Miller followed me on the first 2 picks. He followed me. I had Ankalaev. We knew that. We knew Lionheart. We knew Lionheart wasn't gonna do it. Hey, they need to change his nickname right now. He don't get to have that boy got a kitty cat heart. If anything, he got a little baby kitten heart. That boy's a bum. I told y'all. He's a herb. I'm so happy he got embarrassed. Let him limp out of here and go do a little commentating career for some PFL or somebody else. I don't want to see him in the UFC anymore. Moving on. What was his name? Pantoja. Guess what? I was right again. Now, I told y'all that I do this. Starting off the card. Everybody talking down on me. Everybody talking about whatever trade picks, just fade him. Yeah. Okay, buddy. Look at me now. 2-0 to start the card off. Now listen. We go to Derrick. We're going to skip over Derrick right now because I got some words to say about Derrick. And I know Miller's going to come in here very disrespectful today, talking down on Derrick when he shouldn't be, when that man's a Hall of Famer. And I'm not going to take any disrespect from anybody in the chat about Derrick Lewis. I can promise you that. We're going to skip over that. Brandon Moreno, Kai Kara-France. Dogfight. What a fight. That was crazy. Listen, it was a better fight than I thought it was going to be. That was my most iffy fight, probably. The one I was like, this could go either way. I'm really not sure, but I had to side with Kai. I did get it wrong. I don't care because it was a great fight. He put up a good fight. I mean, what are you supposed to do there? I mean, that's just Brandon Moreno being a dog, and you know what I'm saying? He's a champ. Then we go to one that Miller just was so confident about. And he was talking all that trash and just feeling so good about her and talking about the emotions and this and that. And I just watched her in the embeddeds and she looked like she just wasn't smiling. She wasn't smiling. So I thought that she had the grit. Yeah. Okay, buddy, get her out of here. I mean, what are we talking about right now? Are we serious right now? You really thought she wasn't going to do this? Amanda Nunes is the best to ever do this. She's not new to this. She's true to this. And it was a fluke win. She proved that Saturday. It was a fluke win. It'll never happen again. Congratulations. You caught her off guard. You called your shot. You looked cool. Hey, you're in the history books. Next, the real champ is back. And then we go to Derrick Lewis. And listen, I know we're gonna recap, and I know I'm using my 5 minutes as basically my rundown on the recap, but I just had to get this out of my system. There was history made Saturday night, and I know what you're thinking. Oh yeah, Trey, we all seen it. We seen it in the main event.
What, the most losses in Texas? I'm sorry, didn't mean to take you.
The double champ. Shut your mouth. I told you not to interrupt me when I'm talking. The double champ. First time in women's history, I believe, for somebody to get it twice. No, that's not the history I'm talking about. I'm talking about the worst stoppage
Here we go.
in UFC history. Derrick Lewis was not even hurt, not even dazed, not even phased. He slipped a little bit and almost fell, caught himself, and was getting back up, and they waved off the fight like that. Are you kidding me? Not to mention, I heard them say that this was a newer, more rookie-class judge and staffing system that they had going on. I did hear them say that in the program. Are you kidding me? That was the worst stoppage in UFC history.
Oh, well, you look at
now,
that.
y'all are not gonna sit here and disrespect Derrick Lewis like that. He could have went. How many times have we seen him get hit like that or whatever, slip and stumble and get back up and then knock the dude out? And they were calling that before the dude even stood back up. Are you kidding me right now?
Will you look at that? Just like that, the 5 minutes are up at the right time. But we could get right into it, Trey. That's fine. That's perfectly fine with me. We can go right into Derrick Lewis versus Pavlovich. Are you ready to do that? Is that okay?
Yeah, if you want to speak the truth, if you want to not lie, if you don't want to talk disrespectful on a future Hall of Famer, he could quit right now and be in the Hall of Fame. If you don't want to talk disrespectful on him, then yeah, we can get into that. We can talk about that.
Let's start with the pros, with the nice things to say about Derrick Lewis. The most knockouts in UFC history.
the most knockouts
Trey,
in UFC history. I want you to really put some emphasis on it when you say it.
you're really gonna like what I'm about to say. I thought about this, right? You know, the analysts like the Helwanis and the, all these guys, they were talking about, is it over for him? Well, luckily Helwani, I think he's on the right side of this. Let's talk about this. The people that Derrick Lewis has lost to, and I thought about this. He lost to Cyril Gane, Tai Tuivasa, and Pavlovich. What does that tell me? He's losing to the best of the best. So is it time for him to hang up the gloves? Let's slow down just a little.
No.
Let's slow down just a little bit, okay? At first, I'm not going to lie.
Who's even asking that question? Who's even asking that question and disrespecting that man like that?
A lot of people think it's over. Granted, he should never step foot. He should never step.
Casuals, a lot of dummies.
He should never step foot in a Texas arena. That I will say. 0-3 in Texas?
He's fought plenty of times in Texas and won.
I think he's like 0-3 in Texas. That's neither here nor there.
Now 0-3 in Houston, I believe.
Now, was it a bad stoppage? This is where you come to the voice. Hispanic Helwani.
Not just a bad stoppage. It was the worst stoppage in UFC history. He wasn't even dazed. He wasn't phased. He was barely wobbled.
This is where you don't go to the self-proclaimed source. You go to the voice. Was that an okay stoppage? I'm here to tell you, Trey. Absolutely. The man.
You think that because you're Derrick Lewis's biggest hater. You're his biggest hater. Of course you think that.
When Tai Tuivasa knocked him out, he almost felt the same way. Head first, face planting. In real time, in real time, that's really hard to judge. I don't think Derrick Lewis was going to recover from that. I think he would have took way more punishment.
He wasn't even hurt.
I think he would have took way more.
Like, what's going on?
That's what
he
all.
Stood up like, hey, what's going on? What are we doing here? We stopping the fight? Is something happening?
That's what all fighters do when they try to pretend. I was okay. Let me protest so then I don't look that bad in replay. And I have an argument for myself. He's a veteran. Trey, he's a veteran.
You think Derrick Lewis cares about doing that? He don't care about doing that. He's only going to do that if he really means it.
Most knockouts in UFC history. Now he's starting to become one of the most knocked out in UFC history slowly.
If you need to watch him out right now because that's not true. That's not true. You're trying to be disrespectful
okay. I was
that's not true.
In his last 3 losses, he's been knocked out. He's been knocked out what 4 times already?
They've been some
5
fluff bullcrap knockouts.
6
phony knockouts.
He's been knocked out 6 times in his UFC career. That's a lot. 4.
How many fights does he have? What do you mean that's a lot? Look how many fights he has.
4. I think he's been knocked out 5 times or 6 times. He actually got subbed as well too. Listen, look. He only has one path to victory, Trey. He's either gonna knock you out, and if not, he's gonna get knocked out. That's his path to victory. Now
you're not gonna sit there and tell me he's not technical and he can't take people to the ground and pound them. You're not about to sit there and disrespect Derrick Lewis like that. Like he can't do that. Yes, he can, and he can't stand up and grapple with him and wrestle him up against the fence and everything. You need to stop right now.
So okay, I understand people's concern about it being a bad stoppage. Fine, okay, let's say it's a bad stoppage. At the end of the day, he got knocked out, TKO'd. The question to you, Trey Whale, welcome to the stream, my guy. And we'll talk about Kai Kara France in a little bit, Whale. But Trey, let's get right into it. What does the future hold for Derrick Lewis? You tell me.
What do you mean? You said it yourself. He's fighting the top of the top.
Right.
I mean the cream of the crop. He's not going anywhere. He's right there. And he's going to keep winning. And he's going to get a shot. He's just, he's on a little slow, little tumble right now. It's no problem. He's lost 3 fights. It is what it is. He's fighting dogs. He's fighting #1 contenders. I mean, come on. Hey, give him a break, all right? He's been fighting for a minute now. He's got to lose a couple. He can't win every single one. I mean, I understand he could quit right now and be in the UFC Hall of Fame. He could quit right now and never be a champion and be in the UFC Hall of Fame. He's that much of a legend. He's got the most knockouts in UFC history.
He's a legend. Trey. Give me a couple names.
Not tied.
Give me a couple names of who you throw him in there with. Because right now, he's ranked number 5 and he can't be no one above him. So just give me a couple names. How do you get his career back on track, Trey? That's my question to you. Because you don't look too confident. I'm looking at you right now, and I could read off a couple names for you. Hispanic Hawani's here, a.k.a. The Voice. Below him is Tom Aspinall. He's not ready for that, even though Tom Aspinall's going to be out for a year.
First of all, he's beating Stipe, yes?
No, absolutely.
No?
No, absolutely.
You're telling me
not.
Derrick Lewis hasn't beaten Stipe? Are you kidding? Bro, Stipe
not right
was
now.
doing a freaking Cordova in the middle of the ring last time he was in the ring.
He's a
That
veteran.
dude had his leg. So was Derrick Lewis.
Yeah, but Derrick Lewis is on the decline. Maybe you could say the same thing about Stipe.
Derrick Lewis isn't getting or isn't whooping Stipe. That's
Happy birthday, Zelme. Happy birthday, Zelme. Trey said happy birthday to you earlier, by the way, as well, too. Trey, I don't think he beats Stipe. Chat, you guys let us know if Derrick Lewis beats Stipe. No, but I don't think he beats.
Hey, we already seen him fight Curtis Blades. We already seen that not too long ago. That boy got knocked stiff.
Trey, it's a small.
That boy looked like he was in a coffin.
Trey, it's a small sample size, but Curtis Blades looked a little dangerous against Tom Aspinall, just a little bit. Just
it's like, what are you talking about? Tom hurt his leg.
It was like no. I'm just saying it was a minute in, and it looked like he was ready to strike. It looked like he was ready to strike with Aspinall. I'm just. Listen,
you're really that guy. You're really that guy.
No,
You're like some
listen.
of these dudes in the chat. You're like some of these dudes in the chat that take a little inch and will run a mile with it when it's some BS, and y'all just try to be cool and have these little hot takes. Yeah, you're hilarious.
In that small sample size, Curtis Blades looked like his hands were redefined. He was willing to stand in the pocket there. I think if he runs it back with Derrick Lewis, I think Curtis Blades wins. So I think you're 0 for 2. Can you give me one more name before you strike out?
Well, first of all, you don't get to say if I'm over 2 or not. He's beating Stipe. I'm telling you that I'm 1-0. He's beating Stipe. And then he already beat. I'm not saying he's going to beat. I'm telling you that he already did it.
Okay.
Knocked Curtis Blades
All right.
stiff like he was in a coffin, like he got frozen outside.
Right. But Curtis Blades hasn't lost the 3 of his last 4. So who do you throw Derrick Lewis in there with? You don't run that back. What do you give? Are you suggesting you give him Stipe? Is that what you're telling me right now? After he lost wait, hold on a second, Trey, real quick. Weren't you saying, oh, Pavlovich? And then you started laughing as if we were foolish. Who's Pavlovich? He hasn't beat anyone. And then I'm gonna do a bad impression of you. But
Who
then,
is that guy? He's had 4 fights in the UFC.
But then you go, Miller, he lost to Overeem. I mean, are you kidding me? That's how you talk, right? Then you're slow laugh or whatever. And then what happens? He gets knocked out by Pavlovich. I'm just saying, Trey. He lost
First of all, I talk way cooler than that and way more sexier. My voice is way deeper and way more charming.
I got a question for you. Just one question. Is Pavlovich that good or is Derrick Lewis that bad?
He's had 4 fights in the UFC. We don't know who this nobody is.
Okay.
They had the worst stoppage in UFC history, and now you want to talk about, is this guy that good? Should he be up at the top? Hey, let's give him a title shot. We're about to give him a title shot.
It's a simple question. Is he that good or is Derrick Lewis that bad?
You're not about to. You see what you're trying to do?
No,
this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all when I say Miller is like the media. Miller likes to try and twist things and word things to try and trap people or to try and make it look bad on people because he wants to have a lose-lose for them. That's just the type of person this guy is. I mean, he just tried to set me up with a trap question, lose-lose question when he knows there's not a positive answer. I'm not falling for it. I won't fall for it. I'm gonna call it out. Look at there. You just got exposed. I bet that didn't go how you expected it to.
I just think you don't want to sincerely answer the question, and I understand you're a Derrick Lewis fan.
He's beating Stipe.
Windy City has a silver glove, says, what the F did Lewis do ever? ? Most punchers' chance wins in UFC history. That's his one path to victory. Look, I don't mean to hate on him.
What do you mean he's got a UFC record? He's the number one in knocking out people in the entire UFC, and everyone who think about the names, think about the legends who came across the Brock Lesnar's, the Frank Mir's, bro, the Matt Serra's. I mean, think about the names, and he is number one in the UFC out of everybody. Shut your mouth, Trump. You don't know what you're talking about.
Let me read a couple messages. You're gonna like this, Trey.
A bunch of dummies in the
Zelme
chat right now. I can already tell.
Zelme says Stipe wins, but the source is convincing me since I trust him. And then Hito goes, that's a reach too short of a sample size with the Curtis Blades comment. Kyle says, what's Trey opinion on Stylebender? I don't mean to segue too much. Trey, do you know we have over 250,000 views on the Daniel Cormier video where Cormier talks about Stylebender and compares him to John Jones? We need to have that conversation here. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Did you know we hit 250K on that? Daniel,
I did not know that, but it's probably because you put me back on your channel and I've been talking a lot more. It's got a lot more views coming, a lot more people and eyeballs seeing your videos and stuff. So you're welcome for that. Glad I could help the channel.
Let's finish off with the Derrick Lewis, and then let's talk about if Adesanya is the next John Jones. But your final thoughts on Derrick Lewis, Trey? I would love to hear them. That's a horrible joke. Do you just have a bunch of laundry detergent holders? Like,
hey, how about you shut your mouth? You want to ask me a question and keep talking, don't you? Now listen to my answer.
I was waiting for you to finish
Derrick
drinking
Lewis
your...
would absolutely whoop Stipe. He got cheated. That is the worst stoppage in UFC. Hey, congratulations, everybody. Hey, everybody, round of applause. I want to see some claps in the chat because we all got to witness history Saturday. We got to see the worst stoppage in UFC history.
It wasn't that
He
bad.
wasn't even hurt. He wasn't even hurt, and keep Derrick at the top. It doesn't matter if he's losing to the top dogs or bums. He's still one of the best in the heavyweight division, and you are going to stop disrespecting him. That man's a future Hall of Famer. He could quit right now and go to the Hall of Fame, and you are going to stop disrespecting that man for real.
I will finish off by saying with Derrick Lewis that great fighter historically, great fighter, has records, has held records, but once people have noticed that all he can do is land that big punch, he's not that hard to beat. He's not going to be able, he can't beat anybody in the top 5, let alone maybe even top 10. Might be getting a little bit too difficult for him. What I'm trying to say is that the level of competition is elevating in the heavyweight division, as in all divisions. It's a different era, and Derrick Lewis is being left behind a little bit. I love the guy. Love the guy. He's great. He's done a lot. He's always going to sell tickets. But his time at being in the top 5, a matter of time before it's over. Just a matter of time.
37, and I can't believe you're saying that about Derrick Lewis, but you can't say that about Stipe when he would absolutely knock out Stipe. Stipe is a shell of himself. He'll never be the same. Freaking Francis knocked the life out of him. He will never be the same. He just needs to be a firefighter for the rest of his life.
Listen, I mean, I don't think we'll ever get that Stipe fight. Dean, I'll let you know about how you can call in a little bit. I don't think he's going to get that Stipe fight anyways. So I don't even know why we're talking about that. Can you give me any other names that are realistic for Derrick Lewis? Man, this guy's thirsty today. Look at him. Look at him go.
Yeah, I'm drinking this laundry detergent because of all of y'all's takes y'all been having so far. They make me want to just end it all. They're awful.
Last thoughts on Derrick Lewis? Anything else besides
I told you,
he won't be in the top 5?
I've said everything on Derrick Lewis. Y'all are gonna stop disrespecting him. He's a Hall of Famer, and it's that simple. Keep your mouth shut about Derrick Lewis unless you're talking him up because he's like that.
All right. Let's go right into the next topic before we get into the co-main and the main event, which I think you went like 1 for 4 in your picks, by the way, and people were flaming you. I know you were watching, but you just didn't write in the chat because you were just having a rough day. Neither here nor there. Daniel Cormier had a clip where he says, you know what, John Jones, he cheated in our fights. Can't give him all the credit, basically. And he's basically saying that's why Adesanya is becoming everything that John Jones could have been. What do you say to that, Trey, before I kind of put the nail in the coffin?
Are we being serious? We talking about John Jones? We talking about the best fighter in UFC history? We're talking about the all-star, the dude who was defending championships. I mean, Izzy hasn't even had half of John Jones' career. He's been fighting boring, nobody fights. I mean, at least when John Jones was fighting, he was having questionable fights where people were challenging him. And it's not like, hey, well, Izzy's just so skilled that it's just boring because he's just beating him so bad. No, they are barely doing anything. He looks like Yo Yoel Romero out there when they fought. I mean, it's so slow paced and boring. I fall asleep almost every time. I don't remember the last time I finished the Izzy fight. I'm sick of people pushing this guy. He's a nobody. He does his little walkouts. I mean, the coolest thing he did in the last fight, I want everybody to think about this. The coolest thing Izzy did and what everyone was talking about in his fight, where he's Mr. Highlight Tape, where he's Mr. Cool Guy, does all the cool moves.
We can't see, man. This
was him.
Thing?
No, was him walking out with the urn.
Oh, I thought you were talking about when he did this to Silva. I thought that was pretty cool.
I'm talking about the coolest thing in his last fight that he's done.
I don't even think that was that cool. I don't think you come out with the whole urn thing and then not decapitate someone. You know, like that was kind of contradictory.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That was the coolest thing he did, and we're over here talking about comparing him to the best fighter in UFC history, the most skilled guy who's not even done yet.
Well, I don't know about that.
He's still creating his path. He's about to go to the heavyweight and wreck some people.
Is that Trey? If you're just being a selfish if you're being a selfish fan, what's best for the UFC? For John Jones to come back to the heavyweight division and dominate, or no?
Heck yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That would set it on fire. And get that Francis bummy boy, corny noodle knees, bummy slippy knees out of there. I'm so sick of that dude. Get Francis out of there. Let him go do his one-off boxing career and have a nice life. We're done with Francis.
There's only one problem.
Zombie leg walking boy.
There's a problem with what you just said, Trey.
Here, just go ahead and say something dumb. Here we go, everybody. Everybody take a deep breath. Miller's about to say something stupid.
Guys, we're almost at 20 thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. He doesn't beat this version of Francis Ngannou. That's the problem. So we should probably just
listen. I know it's
Francis
hard to think about
Francis
this.
Francis and Khabib.
Because you're a casual fan, you're a fair weather fan. You probably barely watch the UFC. You only know what I've told you about the UFC. I know it's hard for you to know this.
It's not like I cover every card and almost went undefeated the last card. Anyways, I'm sorry.
That was probably Francis's worst fight I've ever seen. And I don't know if you remember, he wasn't that good back in the day. He lost a few. Okay, when he was first starting out.
I would argue that was one of his best fights ever.
Because he was getting accidental takedown, accidental leg sweeps. The dude could barely walk forward. I mean, Cyril was out there just not even touching him, not even trying to do anything, and there was still a decent fight. Francis looked like Herman Munster. He was out there walking like a zombie so bad, barely even doing anything. Oh, noodle knee boy.
He entered that fight with a bad knee and still won against a really game Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane, if it's not for Francis Ngannou, is a champ.
Boy, no, we're not going to act like Cyril Gane looked awful that fight. He was barely even doing anything. Just looked off completely. Looked like he had a bad weight cut or something. Or an injury or something was going on.
Credit to Francis. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to digress because, yes, John Jones. Does he come back before this year ends?
John Jones would absolutely dog Francis.
I don't think he fights Francis first fight back though.
Listen. Here's the thing. You know, I'm telling you who John Jones fights his first fight back, and I've been calling this since I don't even know when. Probably like March. I've been saying this before anybody even mentioned it.
But before you even finish, let's save this moment because hopefully Trey is right for once on a prediction. What's the prediction that John Jones fights next?
I said this months ago, and you want to talk about a prediction before anyone, even one person, not even the best professional, besides me, because I'm the source. I'm the one who gets it done. I'm Mr. Intel. John Jones is going to come back to fight Stipe. I've been saying it for months.
Oh, I mean, people have been saying that for months.
But I've been saying it for months before anyone.
I've never heard you say that at all.
Go back in the archives. Beta or Kyle, one of you fanboys who are on my Johnson and swing for my nuts every day. Hey, one of y'all go back in the archives and look what I was talking about. I said it. I promise you that.
This guy is talking as if he broke some crazy breaking news.
Anyone said it. That's why I'm the source. That's why I'm the one that gets it done. That's why I'm Mr. Intel. Because I do that before anybody else finds it.
People have been saying that. All right, now look. Stipe fights John Jones. Will that be an interim fight?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, like because Francis Ngannou is not clear when he's going to come back, right?
Cyril already. Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you think it would be?
No, I'm assuming it will be that.
My thing is, did Cyril get his contract worked out? He said he wasn't signing a contract unless he was fighting in a boxing match. And Dana said he wasn't doing that. So was it all bluff? Is this dude an even bigger cornball than I thought, and he's just blowing smoke up everybody's butt and not even telling the truth and just making false threats? Is this what's happening for real?
Oh, you mean Francis? You said surreal.
Yeah, I mean Francis.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what's going on in that situation, so it's really hard to say. I'm not sure, but John Jones. Okay, well, I'm sorry to go back a little bit. Izzy will never be as much of a legend as John Jones. That's what you're saying.
Of course not, because John Jones is the best UFC fighter in history out of anybody. So you think Izzy's going to do that? No.
Whether you love him or hate him, I think to me, John Jones is across the board, every style, as far as like whether it's striking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, in all those areas. Maybe not the striking, maybe that's pretty even. Everything else, John Jones is just a veteran. And not only a veteran, he's that good.
Not to mention, listen, Izzy has one more fight of being champion, and then he's never gonna be champion in the UFC ever again, because Alex Pereira is coming in with a mission, baby, to take him out. And listen, Izzy's not gonna beat him. I can tell you all that right now. That boy Alex is crazy.
This guy John Jones has been fighting for the title since 2011.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people disrespect that man. I understand he lines up freaking coke lines like it's a daggone parking lot. But listen, that man is the best fighter in UFC history.
2011, Trey. Can you believe that? Has been fighting for the title with all the setbacks and everything that he has. Hate him or love him, that guy has been fighting. Look at the names on his Ryan Bader, legend. Rampage, Machida, Rashad Evans, who was just on the Morning Combat, Belfort, Chael Sonnen, Gustafsson twice, right? Yeah, Gustafsson twice, Daniel Cormier twice, which a lot of people have opinions about that. This guy's special. For Daniel Cormier, and I'm a little worried in how I phrase this. For him to kind of say that Adesanya is becoming who John Jones is, do you think that's a little bit bitter? Because of what happened between their fights?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure it has something to do with it. But then you got to think, like, is he taking a shot at Izzy, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think he's taking a shot at John Jones, trying to get under his skin, is what I'm saying.
But how? Why is he saying that? Because is he saying
he's saying no? He's saying that
like Izzy is a negative thing.
No, he's saying Adesanya is becoming what John Jones wished to be or wished to become, like kind of like just taking over the UFC without having
that's what I'm trying to tell you, though,
things.
That Izzy ain't even what John Jones was, and he could fight for years and win 4, 5, 6 more fights, and I still don't know if he would be what John Jones was.
And another factor, Trey, that we didn't talk about before we're about to get to the co-main of Brandon Moreno versus Carl France. I don't know how much emphasis or weight you put on this, but the Adesanya fights lately, Trey, have been snoozers. You can't say the same thing about John Jones. Maybe his fight against Dominic Reyes, where it looked a little bit debatable, that's fine. The Cannonier fight for Adesanya, sleeper.
Boring.
The Jan Blachowicz fight, even though that was a different division, kind of dominated, sleeper. Yoel Romero fight, boring. Robert Whittaker fight it was a unanimous decision, but it was, a lot of leg kicks,
That Yoel Romero fight was so boring that he got that man booted from the UFC.
It's tough to. All right, so that's my question. Chat, you guys let me know. Does that play at all into Adesanya not being as great as John Jones? Is the entertainment level of the fights, or no? Or when it's all said and done, people are not going to remember that? Mm-hmm.
Everything. It's all he's all into his entertainment aspect now, and all his being cool in the walkout and everything. Hey, how about you make a highlight? How about you go finish somebody? How about you go choke somebody out and shock the world, or do something that you've never done before, besides doing all your little gay dances that you got going on, walking out with your urns, taking Undertaker stuff or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? How about you perform a highlight? That's why everybody loves That's why everybody loves Conor. People think this is they take the entertainment aspect too serious because they see people like Conor where he's blown up, and now every time he touches the mic, he freaking blows up, and everybody's talking about it. Well, guess what? He was performing in the daggone ring. He was knocking cats out. He was bullying dudes. And then he would go in there and talk on the mic, and it would blow up, and then he would go and back it up, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Right. He would say something on the mic and then go back it up, and then it was like, holy crap, now what we're talking about. Now people just want to be the entertainment and talking everything, and they want to go tap each other and play fight in the ring. It's boring. Like, give me a break, dude. I'm over Izzy. I think he's a boring fighter. I don't know the last time that I finished a fight when he was the main event.
I got a good one for you, Trey. And Pernell, you're not the first one that I've read this from. He says, Trey, I say Kamaru Usman is becoming the next John Jones. What do you say to that?
Well, here's the deal. We know what I've been saying the whole time, baby. I've been looking everybody right smack dab in the live lens, baby, and telling y'all Kamaru Usman is the best welterweight of all time. He will go down as one of the best fighters of all time.
I mean, as far as
listen, right now, he's probably top 10 already.
As far as welterweight, he's right under GSP.
As far as welterweight, he is number one.
He's right under.
I can promise you that.
He's right under GSP.
Listen, if him and GSP both in their primes, which I would say Usman's in his prime right now, and you put GSP in his prime, and they fight, Usman's dogging him.
I hate to admit
he is. Like, I'm sorry.
Usman is.
He's too strong, too powerful. He can wrestle. Bro, I'm telling y'all, this man is the future.
I can't wait for the Leon Edwards fight because Usman, they fought so long ago, and this version of Usman with that devastating right hand that he just finds a home for now, has a nice jab, wrestling, takedown defense. He's a full package. He has it all.
That's what I'm saying. We're really letting Leon come back and we're really gonna let him get a fight? Are we serious? After he just got
chance. No chance.
After he just got wobbled and dazed by Nate Diaz, even though it was in the last round or whatever, but still it doesn't matter because if Usman catches one time, it's over. It is over. It's bad.
I can't remember the last time, Trey, that someone has lost, or I'm sorry, that has won and still faced so much criticism as if he lost more than Leon Edwards when he got wobbled by Nate Diaz. That's like, people do not give him credit for that win. That man is on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fight winning streak, or 10, something close along those lines, and still people don't want to see him fight for the title.
Yeah, it's just because he's kind of lame, you know what I'm saying? He took forever to fight a couple times, and like that's spaced out. So it's like, it's just like.
Before the Bilal fight, he did take about 2 years to fight, and I don't know if people were too. But remember, that was around during COVID when he wasn't able. He was supposed to fight. Who was it? If someone could refresh my memory, I think it was Usman like 2 years ago. But then because he couldn't come over, the whole COVID thing, I forget who it was that got the shot. Was it Kobe that got the shot at or it might have been Gilbert Burns or something like that along those lines, or even Masvidal, it might have been even that. But so Leon, no chance.
No, are we being serious right now? This is going to be a breeze in the park. I don't know why. Listen, Dana wants to. Y'all always hate on me saying I'm Dana White's little puppy boy and all this stuff. Well, guess what? I'm against Dana here. Dana wants to sit there and he wants to get Figueiredo and he wants to get Brandon Moreno 19 fights. Well, why are we not doing that with Colby and Usman? Because Colby beat him one time and they didn't give him the belt.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
They didn't give Colby Covington the belt and he beat him.
I don't know if I want to waste my time with that one. As far as it was close. It's
not even about being close. It was definitely he won the fight.
It was close. Anderson Silva is definitely in the conversation. As far as the GOAT conversation, him, GSP, Kamaru Usman, John Jones. But we'll see. We'll talk about Usman versus Leon in the future. Let's get right into because we're already almost 50 minutes in, so we got like 10, 15 minutes left on the clock. Let's talk about Brandon Moreno versus Kai Kara France. That was good topics with John Jones. I don't know if you expected to talk about that, but you're welcome.
You're welcome for carrying it.
Kai Kara France and Brandon Moreno. I remember vividly saying, I don't know, like a week ago exactly. Don't mean to be too accurate. I said, look, Kai Kara France, I like the guy. Good takedown defense. I saw him against Askarov. But, Brandon Moreno, experience, the striking, the grappling, just a little bit ahead of him. He's going to find, what did I say, a 4th round submission or something like that? And then it ended by what? A 3rd round liver kick? Which I got a funny picture for you guys real quick before we get right into it. But this is hilarious. I don't know, Trey, if you can see this, but after a win and after a loss, like that's how it works in the UFC. Look at Brandon Moreno's face and look at Kai Kara France. That is just insane. You can't make that up. But anyways, I hit the nail on the head again, Trey, with the Brandon Moreno versus Kai Kara France. But I would love to hear your thoughts on why you were wrong.
Listen, I'm gonna take this one. You want to know why? Because these are two absolute dogs who put up great fights. Okay, right. And Kai is still the man. Now listen, this is the second time he's gotten derailed by Brandon Moreno, where I think that he stopped a streak. I think he was on maybe a 5 or 6 fight win streak the first time he stopped him, and then he just stopped him on this little run now where he could have had a championship fight. Now listen,
that's hard. That's hard.
Maybe Brandon Moreno just has Kai Kara France's number. Maybe he just gets out coached by him. Maybe he's just quicker. He just a better step. Got better on the ground, obviously.
Did you see the judges' cards?
No.
One judge had it, Kai Kara. One judge had it, Brandon Moreno, and the other one had it like a draw or something like that. Something very, very close. I'll look it up while you finish. But yeah, Brandon Moreno stopped his 3-fight win streak once and then twice. Yes, twice.
Yes.
Twice.
I know. I'm the source. I'm the one who tells you all this information. I'm Mr. Intel. Okay? There's never a doubt. But here's the thing. I think Kai's still on the up and up. I think this might be a little minor setback right here. You know what I'm saying? It's a little L to Brandon Moreno. I mean, obviously, he's going to go on to another championship fight with Figueiredo. He's about the only one who can keep up with him right now. And they go back and forth, and he's just an absolute dog. He's got that little Mexican fight in him, that Mexican blood where he just doesn't give up. But I think Kai could beat anybody else up there. I think he's hanging around for a while. I think he's going to stay up at the top for a minute, and he'll get an opportunity. He'll get an opportunity still. But absolutely. I think Brandon Moreno has his number.
He probably doesn't get that fight again anytime soon. I'm looking at the scorecards right now. Yeah, one had it 2 rounds to 1. Yeah. It was pretty even. It was pretty even. It's pretty. I thought Kai Kara France was doing a great job in that fight, where he could have maybe edged the decision if it went to full 5. But Brandon Moreno landed that beautiful liver kick. He talked about, I don't want to be like known as just a boxer in the UFC. I want to, be able to implement different skill sets that I do have. And would that kick have crumbled anyone? I think so. I think he landed it, just placed it perfectly. And you saw Brandon Moreno's face. Brandon Moreno was taking a lot of punishment.
Hey, that boy was getting beat on.
Kai Kara France, if that kick doesn't land, who knows where that fight goes. But Brandon Moreno just landed a perfectly placed kick. Kai Kara France, he breaks his streak again. What's the future for Moreno? This whole Figueiredo fight, it appears it's going to happen a 4th time. Do you see that? Does the fight this past weekend tell you anything about the future? About this 4th fight, Trey, or nothing at all? Davison looked pretty fat. I don't know.
I could see it going. I could see it coming back to Brandon Moreno. I mean, I don't really know. It could go either way. I think they're so close. They're so strategic, and they can figure each other out so well. Honestly, I think all Brandon Moreno has to do is protect himself a little better, and he wins that fight next time. I mean, he just got hit a couple times where he got knocked down, and he left his chin out there. If he fixes that, then
I don't know if he wants to fight Pantoja.
I could see him winning the belt. Why would he fight Pantoja?
No. I'm saying if Kai comes back and fights Pantoja.
Oh.
Pantoja, somebody said that in the chat. He might be the real dark horse.
Yeah, but do you think you see Pantoja taking that beating?
It's tough. It's tough to say. Kai has great takedown defense as well too. Yeah. It's tough. Brandon Moreno and Davison Figueiredo is a tough one to call. Figueiredo looked good in the last fight. I don't think it's going to be that entertaining of a fight come the fourth fight again. It's going to be a very strategic, tactical
it's a nice
fight.
little touch and go fight. Yeah. I see that. It'd be boring.
All right, let's get to it. To the fight that you were right. I think once your only fight you hit on this card, Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. Let me just quickly say, I was wrong for once.
Of course you were.
Okay, I thought Amanda, to me, she didn't look focused. She didn't look like she really wanted to be there. Maybe I was creating this narrative in my head. I don't know. Pena had her daughter behind her squaring up the same way TREY would square up behind me if I were to square up with anyone.
Yeah, and Miller and Pena's daughter is the same height. Did y'all know that? That's a fun fact for y'all. Keep going, Miller.
I was doing like the mother-daughter, father-son comparison. You know, you're my child. Anyways,
of course. Thank you.
I really thought, Amanda looked a little pale in the face. She didn't really want to be there, but boy, was I wrong. And she made a very strategic decision. She came out southpaw, where her dominant hand was just landing at will. Dropped Juliana Pena like 5 times. And it was just something beautiful to watch. Check hooks landing, jabs down the middle out of the southpaw stance. Now, the rumor is she might have took a page out of Valentina Shevchenko's book. We'll talk about that. What are your thoughts on Pena versus Amanda Nunes?
Well, it wasn't the only one I got right, and I was right again, and I told you this, and you looked me in the face about, I think a week ago, hate to be so accurate, and you told me that Pena was going to win. And not only did she get absolutely whooped on and tore up and down every round, I mean, she could have finished her multiple times and said she wanted to keep her in there and kept her going and just kept whooping on her. Not only did she need to go see a doctor after the fight, but they needed to take that woman, being Juliana Pena, to a plastic surgeon because her face looked so ugly after that fight because she was getting whooped on so bad. Listen, Juliana Pena was a beautiful woman before she went in that ring. She was a great looking woman. She came out looking like Lauren Murphy, getting absolutely well on. The ugliest woman. If you don't know who Lauren Murphy is, look her up. She's the ugliest woman in the UFC. I don't care what you say. There's no debate about it. And she got absolutely well done. And the whole time I'm thinking, oh, man, I can't wait to hear from Miller because this man was wrong again on the main event, right, for everyone to see, where he's talking all confident, talking about seeing their reaction as they're walking in the stadium and they're not smiling. And she had a serious face and her daughter was with her. Yeah. Well, chalk it up, baby. Take it home with the kid. Take the L home.
I was wrong.
Maybe you can help mommy dab her cut up while she's on the way to the plastic surgeon because she just got her tail whooped.
Doesn't happen often, but I was wrong. Doesn't happen often. I was wrong, and that messed up my parlay, TREY.
She was so cocky. She brought her daughter, and her daughter had to sleep in the ambulance that night. Does you know that? Juliana Pena's daughter was sleeping in the ambulance Saturday night. How disgusting is that?
It was tough to watch. It was complete domination. One judge had it 50-43 for Amanda Nunes. Granted, Pena did go for a lot of submission attempts, but nothing was ever too deep that worried me for Amanda. Yeah, she locked up the triangle for like a few seconds, and omoplata that wasn't really all the way there. Nothing was really all the way there. It's too slippery out there. She didn't have the right angle. Nunes wins. But let me ask you, TREY. Do we get that trilogy between Pena or Nunes, or do we get
Shevchenko? Listen, that whole fight we just seen just showed that was an absolute fluke, and that would never happen again if she had her offer game.
I don't know if it was a fluke.
Congratulations!
I don't know if it was a fluke.
Congratulations!
I don't know if it was a fluke.
They made history. Listen, congratulations! She made history. She caught her shot. She looked like the cool guy. She got up there. You know what I'm saying? She had it tough enough. She made some money on that. Did all that stuff. But listen. Get her out of here. Are we being serious? We're talking about Amanda Nunes. Does anybody want to see her fight Juliana Pena again? I know I don't.
I think it'll sell okay. I think it'll sell okay. I think
For
it'll
a
sell
main
okay.
event, they better put. Yeah, they could put that at the headline, the prelim. That'd be great.
A bigger fight
Everybody would love to
is
see that.
a bigger fight is Shevchenko.
Of course, it is. Everybody wants to see that. Everybody's been talking about that.
So that's the fight to make.
Why wouldn't it not be?
Who do you have in that
But
fight?
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Does Shevchenko want to fight her?
That's the thing. I don't know if she wants to go up.
Who do I have in that fight? After watching the last fight, after seeing Shevchenko go out there like that, she lost her last fight.
It's really tough
And
to say.
They just said here, you know, it was an accident. You didn't mean to lose, but we'll let you keep the belt.
I think that's
She
a tough
lost
one
her
to call.
last fight.
I think that's a tough one to call. A tough one to call.
Oh man, I'll say right now, man, Nunes is winning that 100%. She's
Oh, man.
landing the big hits. She's landing the big blows. She would have Valentina rocked and shocked.
A couple chat questions that and guys, I try to always put these on Discord, so I'll remember to do that. We're about to get out of here. Couple questions, Trey. Some quick fire rounds, right? Let's try this. Who should Nunes fight next? I think we answered that. Shevchenko. Now, what welterweight fights should happen next? That was asked by Beta because it just feels like the welterweight division is kind of at a standstill.
Usman and Colby, chalk it up. Let's go. We want to see it again.
I don't
sell. Everybody loves it.
I don't think nobody wants to see that.
Colby's gonna win again. Colby's gonna win again. Y'all gonna stop disrespecting this man. He's already won one time, and they didn't give him the belt. Let him fight again and give him the belt. He won.
If Hamza beats Nate,
Are we really gonna cheat him?
If Hamza beats Nate, give him Usman. Give him Usman. There's not really that. Who else? He beat Colby twice.
I mean, yeah, why not?
If he beats
Yeah, of
Edwards,
course,
that's
why not?
twice. Yeah, I think that's the fight to make. Gilbert Burns, I don't want to see against Usman again. Maybe a Vicente Luque versus
Crybaby
Usman.
Burns. We're talking about sobbing Crybaby Burns who cries in the middle of the ring. I'm good on him.
Burns looked pretty good against Hamza, but that whole division is on a standstill. I mean, you have Sean Brady.
I know we're not rewarding. Fighters for losing now. I'm looking pretty good in a loss.
No, it's true. It's just the state of the welterweight division is we got to start considering losers because Usman is kind of lapping the division. So we answer that. Vera versus Cruz. Let's talk about that real quick. Marlon Vera, Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz is such a veteran. Like that's what scares me.
We've been talked about this. I've told y'all the stat because I'm the source. I'm the one that gets it done. Everybody always tries to combat it. Miller always tries to do it. But Dominic Cruz has never lost.
Fight.
Dominic Cruz has never lost a non-title fight.
Dominic Cruz.
And guess what, Miller, you're just proving my point that I've told you. You only know about the UFC what I tell you about the UFC. You understand that? You don't really do this like I do.
Dominic Cruz is a great analyst. It might be Marlon Vera's time. Let me keep thinking on that fight before I make my final prediction. I might go Vera. You saw what he did to Frankie Edgar. He has power.
I'm not making a prediction now.
No, we don't have to now. No, we don't. Have you ever been to an In-N-Out, Trey?
Yes, I lived in Cali for 5 years, and I lived like 2 blocks from In-N-Out.
1 to 10 stars. How would you rate it?
If you're just going, I gotta say it like this, okay? If you're just gonna like try it and not know like what to get and only get it like one time, I would say it's like a 4-star place.
Okay.
But if you know how and what to order, like you get an animal style, you know what I'm saying? You get the double animal style. Maybe you get the fries animal style possibly, or you just get them regular, you know what I'm saying? You got the peppers, you put the peppers on the burger. Right. Just things you don't know.
Yeah.
And then it's a good 8.
I went once and I wasn't impressed, but maybe I ordered the wrong thing.
For the price, it's a good 8.
I wasn't impressed. Maybe I should try it again. I wasn't impressed.
Do they have them in Philly?
No, I went to Cali once. It was like 2017. It's when I competed at Worlds and came in second place in the whole wide world. But that's neither here nor there. I don't mean to pat myself on the back, Trey. I just competed on the world stage. Came on second place in the IBJJF championship.
The Special
fight.
Olympics, right?
You know,
I remember seeing your pictures.
I won like
Special Olympics pictures, that's right.
I won like 6 grappling matches in a row, and when I only trained jiu-jitsu for like a year because I was just I'm a sponge. That's really all I can say. That's neither here nor there. I'm sorry. I don't mean to pat myself on the back.
Well, you came in third,
too much.
Said? Second. Gave him third?
Second.
Yeah, second. Right. Oh, that's right. The autistic girl beat you, right?
Maybe I'll hang up my medal back here with all the other ones. That's neither here nor there. I have one more question. Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Do you feel anything about that?
T-Bud, all the way, baby.
I have Errol Spence.
You're an idiot.
I think Errol Spence is that special. After the whole car crash and all that, I still think he's that good.
Guess what? He steps in the ring with T-Bud, and he's getting in another car crash. He's signing up for another car crash.
Yeah, I should try Whataburger. They don't have them where I live. Yeah.
There's two different types of Whataburgers, though. There's the Whataburger in Texas, and then there's the Whataburger in North Carolina, where it's kind of like, southern and trashy, but it's good. But it's like they got some crazy stuff going on there,
Is it actually good?
Yeah, it's fire.
I gotta try it. I think that kind of sums it up. This hour went faster than usual. Any last thoughts? Please let us know in the chat. I forgot to put the call number thing, but we're gonna have definitely where you could call in willingly and just have a good time with us and hang out. But we're not gonna have any of that today. Trey, you want to give any last thoughts on this fine podcast? Episode 13. The background looks nice. I had to make the thumbnail with Trey's face, and that was unfortunate, but it worked out.
That's why there's so many views. Because people are looking at my face.
We are growing in viewership weekly. I'm not gonna lie, Trey. I was looking at the numbers. I peeked at them while we were streaming. We've been at like 18 to 21 throughout the whole stream. Last stream was like 13 to 17 or something like. We've been consistent. It's beautiful to see. I appreciate
it. It's all my fanboys in here, riding my Johnson, loving to see what I do, and watching my next move always. It's just like, what I'm saying? I'm like Andrew Tate, but I'm better. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you've seen the craze about him, but I'm a better, bigger,
what is this whole Andrew Tate thing?
More exclusive, more handsome, richer, classier, cooler, southern Andrew Tate.
Who is
and
this
these
guy?
are all my little fanboys that come in here and watch me every single week.
Oh, I know who this guy is. The bald guy that talks about being a man and, having authority. He's funny. Yeah.
He can never be me.
I know exactly. Never be me. What Spence did in his last fight was inhumane. I feel bad for those that have to fight him. He's beating Terrence Bud Crawford. I honestly feel confident about that. One more question is he a passive fighter as he moves on or just boring? Oof.
Is he what?
Is he a passive fighter or is he just boring?
What does that even mean?
I think he relies on counterpunching too much. And he's okay with just winning the fight. And then even if it's not that entertaining. But is that his fault? Yes or no? I don't know. That's tough to... I don't know. Is he future middleweight GOAT? Botched, says Will Ryder. People like to look at fat people bad villains are sniping. Yes, Will, you are correct. It's tough with Izzy. I'm sorry, Trey. Any last thoughts for you, Trey? Do you want to share anything? The viewership is going up. We're doing great, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, if you're new here, thank you for hanging out for a whole hour. It was a great time. Episode 13.
Listen, bro. Listen, I'm signing off, but before I sign off, I just want to say, hey, go check out Wedgie's Golf Co. on YouTube. We just had a new episode drop tonight. We post every Monday around the same time that we do our show. And it's a little golf channel. If y'all like golf, y'all can watch us play golf. I play. I'm better than any one of you. I would absolutely whoop y'all. But for the people in the chat and for the people talking trash to me on Discord, y'all don't think I'm in the Discord? Y'all don't think I can read it? Y'all don't think I can see that? When y'all talking yip-yap on my name during the middle of the day, I'm at work, having a great day, enjoying myself, about to have lunch, and then I got to go in the Discord and see people disrespecting me, talking about I don't get girls, talking about I don't know what I'm talking about. I got a girl with a big old juicy booty, bigger booty than you'll ever be able to grab from any of the women you get, because you don't get women. All of y'all sit at home by yourselves with little fanboys looking at me, watching me talk about the UFC all the time because I'm the best to ever do this. I'm the best capper of all time. I'm the source. I'm the one that gets it done. I'm Mr. Intel. And I got to come in here and I got to school Miller and tell him about UFC and teach him about it every week. And then I got to sit here with 20 other people talking down on my name, trying to disrespect me while I'm teaching them about the UFC too. I'm not having it anymore. Know who you're talking to. The disrespect will stop. I want to see a bunch of stories in the chat when I'm about to leave right now because guess what, baby? I'm the source. I'm the one who gets it done. I'm Mr. Intel. Hey, Trump's coming back, baby. I can promise you that. And so am I. I'll see you next week. Peace.
If Spence wins, Trey, if you hear me out there, you got to do a stream without your glasses. Beta, I was making sure to tell him that. Pick over says Cole. Cole, by the way, too. Yeah, maybe the contender has to take the fight to him. I think Adesanya is that skilled. That Pereira fight, I think, is going to be a fight that is not going to be boring. It's going to be entertaining no matter what. Trey, thank you for being here. Thank you for being the co-host on episode 13. I think we have something great going for, the first 13 episodes. Look at us. I mean, look at there's a gif that the guy goes like, look at us. Oh, that's what I'm gonna make as a. Let me see if I can find it. You guys ever seen this real quick, guys? Let me look at right here. You guys ever seen this? Hold on.
Look at us. Look at us.
You guys ever seen this?
Look at us. Hey. Look at us.
Look at us.
Huh? Who would have thought?
This is.
Look at us. Hey. Look at us.
Look at us.
Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
I'm definitely gonna clip that.
Look at us. Hey. Look at us.
Look at us.
Huh?
I'm definitely gonna look at us, guys. Growing week after week after week. I mean, we are just doing something beautiful here, guys. We've been live for an hour, 10 minutes. The wifey's waiting for me upstairs. We're watching a series called Keep Breathing on Netflix. It's about a girl that gets stranded on an island and she's trying to survive and make it back home. Kind of sounds like Castaway, right? And like a bunch of other movies. But it's a series on Netflix. If you guys get a chance to catch it, let me know. But that's what me and my wife are watching. That's the only series that we're watching right now. I don't watch too much TV at the moment. Will Ryder says Alex P versus Izzy will be the most technical stand-up fight ever had in the UFC. To be honest, that's going to be an interesting one. I think that is hopefully when Izzy gets the stigma off of him that he's a boring fighter. Great. I think we shall see. Oh, you're watching. What episode are you on, Wendy? If you don't mind telling me before I get out of here. I'm on like episode 3 or so that I'm watching with the wifey. Let me know what episode you're on. Survive, says Whale. I just finished Stranger Things. Awesome. Stranger Things season 1 and 2. One of my favorite seasons of all time. Have you ever watched Narcos, Cole? I mean, there's a lot of subtitles, but Narcos is just, the story is just amazing. Amazing. If you've never watched Narcos, watch Narcos. What other series do I like? Unabomber, it might be on Netflix. That's about the Unabomber that like will mail bombs and stuff. It's based on a true story. He wanted people not to be on phones too much. Another good one. You're on third one? Yeah, I think I'm gonna start the 3rd episode right now. So that's what I'm about to do. This guy Love Chat just loves, no pun intended, coming here and being weird. I gotta like block this guy or something. Is that possible? There we go. Hide user. There we go. So his messages are gone. Cole, I'm out of here. Meth dealer, I'm out of here. Will, I agree. Kyle, thank you for always showing love. I have been watching The Boys. I haven't watched that yet. Maybe I'll catch up and try that one time. Let me know some. Breaking Bad is my favorite. Breaking Bad is my favorite series of all time, Kyle. So I'm glad you said that before I left. That's how I know that you have good taste. Breaking Bad to me is the greatest series of all time. I think it's that good. I say that pretty confidently. To me, is the greatest series of all time. I think Izzy should keep doing him. Amateurs' opinions won't get him GOAT status. Yeah, and if he retires undefeated, or I mean, at least in the middleweight division, and if he keeps winning 5 wins from now, I think that whole boring thing might just be thrown out the window. I don't know, but I think he just needs to keep winning. I think he should focus on that. So I agree with you. I think it's one of those things where like he's getting criticized a lot now because people want to see him be at danger. Hopefully when he has more, tougher opposition, that's what happens. We shall see. Leroy, much love to you, man. Good night. Everyone else, good night. Much love. God bless. I'll catch you guys. If not this Saturday, then Monday we'll be back for the live stream. I'll keep working on videos in between. I'm definitely going to work on a video either tomorrow. If I don't finish tomorrow, I'll post the day after that. But I'm going to keep making content, working hard for you guys, trying to grow this stream. That's what we're trying to do. Sopranos or Breaking Bad? I'm going Breaking Bad. I've watched Breaking Bad 3 times already. My favorite series of all time. I think is that good. I think the character development of Walter White from the beginning to the end was just a work of art. I could talk about series all day. Narcos is probably my second favorite. I'm trying to think. Unabomber I liked a lot too. The one on OJ I liked a lot. I'm drawing a blank right now on all the series that I've watched. Lost was good. If you ever seen Lost is a real good one. I don't know if that's on Netflix anymore, but Lost is really good. Stranger Things was amazing. I'll remind me to talk about this next time, and I'll probably bring up some more. They called Silva boring. They did call Silva boring. If you have good memory about that, they definitely called Silva boring before. And he doesn't have that stigma on him anymore. I'm going to get out of here, guys. God bless. Good night. We'll talk more soon. I love you guys. Peace.
I'm the best ever. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
Yo, bounce guy, go off.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
Wilder's in a world of trouble, closing seconds. Can he weather the storm here in the third round?
And the ball to superlative.
Big right hook, lands flush for Cambosos, and that knocks down Teofimo Lopez. We have ourselves a fight.
Khabib Nurmagomedov gets a triangle choke from up top. Gaethje's out, and the fight is over. The triangle choke for Khabib Nurmagomedov.
And Porter gets knocked down. He gets knocked down again. 10th round TKO win. Left uppercut, and then knocks out Leo. It appears he's out cold. The fight is over. It was a counter left uppercut, and just like that, what a left uppercut. I did not see that coming, ladies and gentlemen. I will have to admit, what a fight.
Nice celebration of a 3K video. I don't know, man. To hit 3,000 subscribers in like
Right hook to the body for Campbell. Left hook to the body for Garcia. And that knocked down Campbell. It was a left hook to the body. Campbell on the ground. The count is on. Can he make his way up? It appears he can't get up. Campbell on the ground. Trying to stand up. And the fight is over. Ryan Garcia with a 7th round knockdown. What a performance. Guys, if you haven't, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. We're trying to do record numbers today. Ryan Garcia tearing up and crying. What a performance for Ryan Garcia.